Thank you for allowing me to observe your class today. So let's start our follow-up conference with you telling me some things that you felt went well during this lesson.
Thank you for being here. I felt the lesson was well put together and quite rigorous. However, I think that if my students were more engaged in the lesson, it would have went much better.
Okay. So, well, what do you think you did wrong during this lesson?
I just think I could have done more at the beginning of the year to develop stronger relationships with my students.
Well, one way that you can build trust and relationships with your student is by tapping into their funds of knowledge. And the funds of knowledge is just basically their life experience and cultural values that students use to acquire and process knowledge. So by learning the interests of your students and using this knowledge to help enhance your instruction, you will basically use it in the planning phase of the instruction, but you would think about like relevant examples or text that you could use based off of their interests or things that they like. So you basically plan activities where students activate their prior knowledge in order to interpret new knowledge.
I can see how that would be helpful. How could I use it specifically in my classroom, a history classroom?
Well, since you teach history, you could use like a real world event like betrayal. Let's say you're teaching a lesson on the Julius Caesar, and you would start off by asking students, have they ever been betrayed by someone who they were close to? And then once they, make those connections, then you can segue about start talking about Julius Caesar, his life, and then talk about his death and how all of his friends betrayed him in death. So that way you're kind of helping them make connections between their personal knowledge and the new knowledge that you're trying to get them to acquire.
That's a great idea. I should probably do that.
Okay, another way you could build relationships with your students is by basically sharing your common interests with your students. And students need to know that their teacher is a person outside of the classroom. So by doing this, you're kind of personalizing yourself and showing them that, hey, I'm not just your teacher, I'm also a person. So most of the times if I'm doing this, I'm going to give them personal anecdotes, but they're relevant to instruction. Don't go off on a tangent and start chattering. However, it is important to let them know little tidbits about yourself so that they feel they know you. The more that they know you, the more willing and receptive they are to receive knowledge from you.
You can see that. That seems very helpful, actually.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Hello, Ms. Marshall. What seems to be your problem?
Oh, Ms. Allen, I am an instructional coach, and I have a hard time giving my teachers effective feedback. What are some ways that I can provide them with some effective feedback?
Okay. Well, one way you can provide teachers with effective feedback is by using the GLOWS and GROWS format. During an observation, the IC writes down the GLOWS and simultaneously write down the GROWS. The GLOWS are the things that the teacher does well, and the GROWS are the areas of concern or areas that they need to kind of maybe look into for doing a little bit better. Then after the observation is complete, the IC will sit down and have a conference with the teacher discussing the GROWS and the GLOWS. But this also allows the teacher to ask follow-up questions, and it allows you to give the teacher support with their areas of concern. So you know where they are the weakest, and then you can give them effective feedback on how to actually improve those. So it's not like you're giving so much criticism, but you're giving praise and criticism, so it's not taken so harshly.
Okay.
Another way that you can provide effective feedback is by using reflection surveys. And you can create these on just Google Docs or Word document and give it to teachers. But the questions on the survey call for teachers to basically reflect on their current practices and list their areas of concern or areas where they think they may need a little bit more development. And then once you know the teacher's needs, then you can provide them feedback and support that way. So this way, there's no criticism at all. They're just saying, hey, I need help with this, and then you're saying, well, this is what you can use to help yourself.
I like that they can, the feedback surveys, the reflections. I think that I'm gonna try that out with them, so they can pick out their own areas.
Cool, great. Well, I hope this conference was helpful, and that was great working with you.
Thank you. You as
All right.
well.